We begin with a new series investigating the influence of global food brands in the Pacific Islands. The director of Fiji's biggest sporting event has promised to drop the name and branding of its sponsor Coca-cola for next year's 50th anniversary. Organisers of Coca-cola Fiji Finals have been discussing how to limit branding of the sugary drink company from the athletic event, which has long been a staple for thousands of school students and their families. With the brand deal expiring next year, organisers have a chance to choose a different sponsor. I spoke with Fiji Secondary Schools Athletics Association Acting Secretary, who is also the 2024 Coca-cola Games Competition Director, Bio Kolati.
Coca-cola game came into existence as a game started off in 1975, but unofficially we have big plans for next year since we are turning 50. So come next year, you might not be able to see anything called Coke because we will now call it the Fiji Finals. So that's some of the things that we will change. One of the things that we will need to change is the brands on everything that we use. We will ask them politely because there is nothing binding. When I came into the system, into the school system, this game was already there, and it has been growing from strength to strength. Fiji is such a small country that to run this kind of game, you will need a good sponsor. Our contract with the Coca-Cola company comes to an end next year. After next year, we will have to sit and decide. Coca-Cola is so flexible that they have agreed that we call our game the name of the game that we all know, which is the Fiji Finals. If we are able to get another company to support us in the way that this current sponsor is supporting us, then we will consider moving. Because right now, as you've alluded to, we understand the impact of what can happen, and that is something that is also understood by the sponsor themselves. And we've had discussions on that, and one of the steps that we have taken is to go back to the original name of the game and call it the Fiji Finals. We have come to such a time now where we've now discovered that sugary drinks are not appropriate for kids. So maybe we are now going to decide to move in other direction. But then, as I've said, we will have to look at other companies that are available in Fiji. And unfortunately, we don't have that luxury like other countries in the world, where they can be easily taken up by some other big companies. Yeah, so that would be a challenge to us. This association is run purely by teachers, and we only do this on voluntary basis. Only when we are free, then we attend to this game and the logistics of the game. It will be difficult to run the game without a sponsor.
You talked about the impacts. What are the impacts? What discussions have you been having about sugary drinks influencing young people and the psychology behind this sponsorship?
Yes, from the studies conducted, I think there are parts of the world that have already proven that sugary drinks have negative effects on people. We would be surprised. Happy to also get data on. But as you know, the whole country is moving towards a healthy diet, and that is the first reason why we wanted to call our games the Fiji Finals now is because of that. And next year, as I've said, this sponsorship is coming to an end, and that's when we will sit and decide. And who knows, maybe we could be just asking Coke that now we will have to leave and move on. But as I've said, this game with a history, we will need something that can keep this game alive and maybe continue into the future.
So Fiji Finals is going to be the new name for the Coca-cola Games. If Coca-Cola does stay on and there are no other sponsors that come forward or no other companies that are able to sponsor the Fiji Finals for the 50th anniversary next year, would you still allow the sponsorship to happen but take away the name from the title as well as any kind of Coca-Cola branding on giant checks that are given to some players that win and on trophies and medals and that sort of thing?
If we were to break ties with our sponsors like next year, then of course we are going to start from zero again and start looking for sponsors. Unfortunately, our sponsors happen to be Coca-Cola. We will discuss with them as to how we could reduce the branding maybe on the game. If we're given another safer brand, which can replace this company, then of course we are going to start considering that. It would be fair to say that all these changes should be happening by next year, because we have just started the process of this negotiation this year.
Next episode, we hear from a leading Pacific health expert who says it's unacceptable for big brands to still be sponsoring sporting events in 2024.